Welcome to Tactical Reviews, and today I'm looking at three EDC lights from Fenix, the E03R, which has been around a little while, and the new E35 V3 and E28R lights. So completely new and sealed in their packaging. So starting with the E35 V3, it's an attractive looking packaging with some plastic bubbles to let you see the product. Personally, I would prefer it if this type of packaging didn't actually have clear plastic. It was just a box that you could open up, but perhaps that'll be something in the future. These typically require pretty much a destructive approach to get inside, so excuse if some of this looks a little bit brutal. So as you can see, pretty much a fight to get the internal plastic out of that, and so I've destroyed the outer part. It's a little clamshell, and pop out the light with battery in. Look at that in a second. Just get to the rest of the contents. So we have a USB-C cable and a lanyard strap and a couple of O-rings. And warranty card, leaflet and instructions. So let's just pop those aside, have a little look at the light. So we have a warning tag telling you there's an insulator, that the battery is already inside. So this is not a tail unscrew light, but the whole body. Take the insulator out. And we'll zoom in and have a closer look at these later in the video once I've unpacked them all. So we've got a 21700 USB-C chargeable cell, and we'll just pop that tag off. We'll come back to that later. Let's look at the next one. And the next of these new EDC lights is the E28R. Slightly different packaging here without that plastic bubble. So sealed with brand new top and bottom. Just into this. So this is a reasonably typical type of Fenix packaging with the inner plastic tray. Very similar to the E35 where we have a warning tag. Let's come back to that in a second. So again, we've got a strap, a spare O-ring, a USB-C recharging cable, warranty information and instructions. So we have a cell already fitted in the light, and the head unscrews. A little bit more obvious, remove before use tag. And we're an 18650 cell here. This one, standard cell without USB charging built in, because in this light we have that in the head. We'll have a closer look at that a little bit later. Pop that tag off. And the last of these three Fenix EDC lights that we're looking at today, the E03R. Similar bubble pack to the E35 V3. Again, we'll have to be pretty destructive for the packaging to get into this. Yeah, pretty ripped to pieces. Open up the plastic clamshell. See if we can pop the light out of it. It's quite firmly fitted in there. One of my favourite little helpers, a guitar pick, just to get this out. It really is proving this tricky. And there we go. And while I was at that, the rest of the contents fell out. So again, we've got a USB-C cable and a small split ring. Can be fitted so it can be attached to some key rings. Instructions and warranty card. We'll have a closer look at this in a minute. And now for that much closer look at the three EDC models from Fenix here. I'm going to start with the E35. This is the V3 version of this light. So a nice straightforward straight-sided tube on the tail, which is hasn't got any switching. We have plenty of lanyard fixing holes. It will also allow for tail standing, and it comes fitted with a clip which you can completely remove if you wish. So the only control switch on this light is on the side here, with a bronzed finish to it, which matches the bezel. And you can see, looking into the front of this, that we've got a TIR optic, which is slightly frosted, so the LED is not entirely clear. So the head of the light comes off rather than the tail. and immediately we can see the cell inside, as the cell itself has got the built-in charging. So USB-C and the 5000 milliamp hour Fenix 21700 cell, of which I'll just quickly reassemble the light. You can see that quite nicely the majority of the size of this light is the cell itself. Let's go back inside and look inside the head of the light. There's some physical reverse polarity protection there, so it is possible you might have some issues if you wanted to use a flat top cell, although you've got one that's come with it. So you can see it's a button top, and into the main battery tube. Should be able to just see the spring in there. And when this cell is charging, it's through that little hole in the button that you see the charging light. A quick tap of the button just to give an indication of battery level. This is fresh out of the packet, so the battery is not charged, so as expected we get a low battery warning light. And press and hold to turn on. Immediately we're into low battery. Tap the button to change modes. Press and hold. So that was interesting there, actually. Press and hold to turn on. Press and hold, let go straight away to avoid strobe. But if we're on, press and hold a little bit longer and we go into strobe. And that's a quick look at the E35R. Next up here we have the E28R, and this is a almost identical layout to the E35R. I'll just check actually size wise. You can see that with the E35R being based around a 21700, it has a particular size, and with the more traditional 18650, the E28R is a more compact light. In the tail, there's no switching. Two sets of lanyard fixing holes will allow tail standing. Pocket clip attached to the side, can be fully removed. Side switch in a bronze finish, matching the bezel. TIR optic, slightly frosted. In this case, however, we also have a charging port in the head. So this now means we don't need to disassemble the light to recharge it. So USB-C charging port under a cover. Have a quick look inside. Much like the E35R, we have physical reverse polarity protection, the two pads either side of the central contact. The plain 18650 cell, but with a button top. And inside you can just see the spring. So it's just very simply a tube with a spring. and the interface is going to be the same. Press and hold to turn on. Actually had a green power light there, so this cell's got a little bit more power in it. Change mode. Press and hold to go off. Press and hold a little bit longer into strobe. It's the E28R. And the last light in this lineup of 3 is the much smaller E03R. It is really a keychain light. A little bit too big perhaps to use as a zip light, but just put that in comparison with the others. So E35 V3 with the 21700 cell, E28R with an 18650, and the E03R with a built-in cell, not something that you can access. Metal body, actually much smaller. In this series though, we have the same control button. So the only other, so yeah, on the base of this, a small fixing point which you can then put the split ring in. USB charging point on the side, and then this is being standardized now as USB-C. Dual LED, TIR optics, slightly frosted, we can't see the exact emitters in there. Single tap just to check the battery level. Seems quite good on this, straight out of the pack. Press and hold. Tap to change mode. Press and hold, and it's off. Now, instead of, as with the other lights, a longer hold here, and we change to red output. So press and hold to go to white, hold slightly longer to go to red, press and hold to go off. And if we're on white, press and hold, and we can go to red. It's the E03R. So we've had our look over these lights closer up and the unpacking of them. And what I'll be doing now is preparing these and running through all the technical tests, which will be reported on the main review published on Tactical Reviews. So please take time to go and check that out for the run times, the actual measured outputs, and more.